first audition, I believe we had to come in with 3 different characters. We had about 3 minutes total to perform. We came in with original characters. I remember I actually worked with my groundlings teacher. I was sort of nervous about it, but excited because it kind of reminded me of what I've heard auditions for SNL or other sketch comedy shows are like. So it was a really good opportunity to sort of bring to life characters that I had come up with before and get to use them in an audition setting. And then the second round of auditions, we had, I think, 5 minutes, and we were to bring in 5 original characters. And I thought I was just going to be auditioning in front of Fern and a few people, but much to my surprise, I actually came into the audition room with all of the writers on staff, which actually made the audition super fun because you could feel this really supportive and excited energy in the room.
There are a ton of people in this small room, all eyes on you. You have Rick and Fern right there in the very front, just like eyeing you down, like make us laugh. So you just have to take it all in stride. You have to just get in there and not psych yourself out, do the material that you have, and just hope for the best.
It was actually one of my first times doing stand-up in the audition. So when I got the audition breakdown, you know, you have to make characters. At first they asked me to do 3. And so I went in and I did 3 characters and they loved it. But let me tell you, I was really nervous. I was sweating bullets. It was really nerve-wracking, but it was a lot of fun. And then I got a call back and then they asked me to bring back 5 more characters. And so I did it, and it was really, really fun. It was a really great experience to just jump up in front of 50 people that you've never met before. It's different auditioning for, you know, television and film where there's maybe 1 or 2 people in the room and some producers. You're in front of a whole group of writers and other comedians. So it's been really, really great. It's been a great experience.
The audition process for the CBS Diversity Showcase, I think, is unique to almost every single person here. For me, I had an initial audition where we were asked to prepare 1 minute and up to 3 characters. And so that process went, and then it was like about a month and a half before I heard back that I had been called back in, which is always exciting as an actor in Hollywood. I mean, that's almost like the most exciting thing that happens for you sometimes. So I was really jazzed about that. And I actually had one of the most amazing callbacks ever. I was at the end of my 3rd character, and everyone was laughing, so it was going great. And I was thinking to myself, like, this is amazing. I landed my last line, and the entire power went out in the whole building, as if it was like a lights out. I was standing up in front of everyone. I landed my last line, and then it was like, phoom, lights out. And I had 1 more character, and I kind of looked around, and I was like, do I go again? But I thought, nah, this was a sign. Everyone was laughing. Everyone loved it. So it was kind of the perfect callback.
The audition process for me was pretty hard to deal with because I did the initial audition, and they said, you'll hear from us by the end of the weekend. And it was 2 weeks later I heard from them. And then when I got the callback, they said, you'll hear from us by the end of the week. And I didn't hear for another month and a half. So I was kind of pulling my hair out. It's all gone now. I was kind of racking my brain like, what happened? I thought I had a good audition. I thought I did well. And but I finally got the call that said, congrats, about a month and a half later.
Well, the auditions is a long process. It's, you know, it's a couple months at least of auditions. And, you know, and Fern's one of the best casting directors in the business. So she'll go to New York, Chicago, places like that, because we're really looking for people that either industry hasn't seen, or even if the industry's seen them, they haven't seen them in this light, or they need to be reacquainted with them. So casting, I think one of the strongest parts of this whole process is the casting, because as a director, I'm given a great group of actors to work with. And then now it's my job to give them the showcase and bring out the best and individuality of them, while at the same time creating an ensemble. So that's the process. It's a big part of the process is the auditions, and we see thousands for this. It surprises us every year, and as the show has grown in reputation, more and more people come out for it. And we're talking people that have been on series and everything else, because they just want the opportunity. It's like a master class for 3 months, and it really puts the Hollywood experience in perspective.
When I came to the audition, one woman ran out and freaked out. And Fern came out and she said, I'm just going to let you know there's more than one person watching the audition. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I was prepared in the sense that I knew it wasn't just a one-on-one thing. And then when I got there, Rick was explaining to the writers, he was like, now they got to be very specific, but I was standing right behind him. And I was like,
what was really great was that there was a lot of feedback directly in the room. Really made you know what was good, what maybe needed a little bit of work too.
I went into the CBS building in Manhattan, and I auditioned in front of Fern in a really, really tiny office. So I was doing big characters in a really tiny office. And I also, one of my characters has a corn cob, and he spits out corn kernels as he says words. So there's corn kernels going all over the floor and desk. And then I finished my audition, left all the corn on the floor.
I was out, in the waiting area, and everybody's on iPads, and there's people singing in the hall, and I'm texting people like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, this is the weirdest. Like, am I supposed to be singing? Like, there's people were singing. People were recorded themselves on their and are listening to themselves, and I have nothing. I don't have a headshot with me. I don't know what's going on, and I just went in, and I was like, this is what you wanted me to do, and there's 5. So it said, do 5 characters and come in and do it. So I just went in and did my 5 characters, and if you could have filmed that, you would have seen my knees knocking together, because I tried not to be nervous in my face, but I was horrified, because I thought I was so underprepared, and I guess it just kind of worked to my advantage in the sense that I didn't know what I was doing. So I think that helps.
So the audition process for me was a little bit different from the usual run-of-the-mill sort of auditions that I go to. First of all, because there was just so many people in the room. So that was a little bit like, oh, hello. And I think the first audition was that I had to create 3 characters. And I was like, oh, how do I do that? Because when I get material for an audition, it's like there's always a bit of a breakdown that you kind of follow, and then you put yourself into it and kind of create some fun colors. So starting from scratch was really a little bit of a brain tease for me. It was a bit of a puzzle. It was like, okay, what am I good at? How can I be funny? And then I kind of thought, well, I'm so animated and funny just being me, so let's use that as a first tool. And I sort of started developing things that I do that's a little bit quirky or weird, and use that for the audition process.
I really look for something that best represents that person, that I can look at and say, because that's really what a lot of acting is about, is opening yourself up so truthfully to the audience that they're amazed at your bravery. And comedy is such about honesty. What actors sometimes forget is their uniqueness is what makes them special and what makes an audience look at them and want to see them. Actors, they're not like fish. They don't travel in schools. I mean, the whole point about an actor is that you're supposed to stand out, be unique, because you are.